And welcome back to Mr. Gregoris Math. In our analytic geometry series, we're taking a look at finding equations of lines. Specifically, this time we're going to find the equation of a right bisector of a line segment. So I want to find the equation of a right bisector of BC, given that B is equal to this point and C is equal to this point. Now I'm just going to do a quick sketch. BC would be somewhere here, so here's B, and C would be somewhere down here, so here's C. And the right bisector would be the line that cuts this line in half and goes off on a right angle. So I expect a right bisector to be of the form y equals mx plus b, where it's probably going to have a positive slope and it's probably going to have a negative y-intercept. But these are the two things that I need to find. Now I can find the slope by either knowing 2 points on the right bisector, which would be challenging because I think I'm only going to be able to find one, or a relationship. So remember, the relationship is negative reciprocals are right to one another. So we're going to find the negative reciprocal of our slope of BC. And then to find B, we can use a point. So let's go ahead and find first our slope M of BC. So that's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. In our case, since we're going from B to C, let's do 9 minus negative 5. So 9 minus negative 5. Let's be careful with your negative signs. And then we'll go in that same order. So 2 minus 8. So this is going to work out to be 14 over negative 6. And I think I should go ahead and reduce it because it screams, reduce me. So both those numbers are divisible by 2. So I'm going to have negative 7 over 3. You may notice I just decided to put that negative sign in the numerator. That's just a style thing. It doesn't actually matter where that negative sign is. Now this is not the slope of my right bisector. It's the slope of BC. And that makes sense because it's a negative slope and it's a fairly steep line. We expected it to be fairly steep and fairly negative. So to find the slope of my of my right bisector, I need to take the negative reciprocal. So M of my RB, or right bisector, will be 3 over 7. And that's just by taking the negative reciprocal. So flipping the fraction and changing the sign. Next, I'm going to use the point that I know. Oh, wait a second, I don't know a point. I guess I need to know the midpoint of BC, because that's where the right bisector goes through. Remember, to bisect means to cut in half and do so at a right angle. So I first need to find this midpoint here to get myself another point. So the midpoint of BC is found using our formula x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. So we'll just add up our x's and y's. So we have 2 plus 8 over 2. And we have 9 plus negative 5 over 2. This is going to simplify a little bit further to 10 over 2 or 5, and 4 over 2 or 2. So that'll be the point that we're going to use when we go ahead and find the equation. We've now got our slope, which gives us our negative reciprocal, and our midpoint, which gives us a place to go through. So we can either go back to y equals mx plus b or the point slope formula. I'll do y equals mx plus b this time just to change it up. So we'll start with y equals mx plus b. Whenever I'm finding the equation of a line, this is what I write down. And I'm going to replace m with the slope that I know. So that's 3 over 7. And I'm going to replace x with 5 because that's a point that I know is on that line. And I'll replace y with 2 because that's another point that I know is on that line. And now I just have to solve this for b. There's going to be some pretty ugly fractions here. We'll expand and have 2 is equal to 15 over 7 plus b. And I need to simplify, so I'll subtract 15 over 7 from both sides. In doing so, those will cancel. And I'll be left with b equals 2 minus 15 over 7. Well, 2 is 14 over 7. So 14 over 7 minus 15 over 7 is going to be negative 1 over 7. So negative 1 over 7 is my y-intercept. Remember, we expected that to be negative when we originally looked at our line, although this is not really a scale sketch, so I'm just kind of hoping that it's somewhat accurate. And so the last thing that we have is to write the equation of the line. We know our slope, we know our y-intercept, so we say the equation of the right bisector is y equals 3 over 7x minus 1 over 7. And that's how you find right bisectors. So don't forget to hit like in the bottom corner, subscribe in this corner over here. You can always replay if you want to try this over one more time, and click pause anytime you get to a step. That'd be a great way to use these videos, is to pull one up that's relevant to a question that you're trying from the homework. I hope you have a fantastic day, and we will see you tomorrow.